Welcome back, guys! Thank you so much for coming back to my channel as usual. I'm sorry I haven't been making videos much recently, but with the holidays and everything, it's been so hectic. I don't know. I'm actually on vacation from work right now, so I've got some extra time off, but a lot of stuff has happened. And you already know from the title what this video is, but I still wanted to just, make it anyway, and so I will just go ahead and tell you. After 7.5 years of dating, Chris proposed last night. I was so happy. Oh my God. I totally didn't expect it. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect him to do it yesterday. So I'm just going to tell you my story because I think it's kind of a cute one. And I don't know if you guys might be interested in hearing it or not. So anyway, so yesterday, actually the day before yesterday, I went out to lunch with my friend, and we were talking about whether or not he was going to do it because we talk about that all the time. It's no secret that I really, really wanted to get engaged. Like I said, me and Chris have been dating for 7.5 years. We started dating the end of my senior year of high school, and now I'm 25, so it's been a really long time, and it's been a wonderful 7.5 years. I didn't get sick of him. If anything, I grew to love him more and more. But so I was out with my friend, and we were talking about whether or not he was going to do it, and me and Chris actually had plans yesterday being, oh my God, what day did he propose to me? I should probably know that date. Okay, so Thursday the 19th. And then she kind of just sprung on me because she was already engaged. She kind of just sprung on me that she wanted to elope on Thursday. And I was like, really? Because she'd been talking about it, but she was dead serious. Like, she made up her mind. She didn't want to deal with the wedding. She didn't want to have all that stress. Her family was pressuring her to have a really huge Indian wedding, and she didn't want that. So she just said, can you come to my house Thursday afternoon, you and Chris, and be our witnesses for our marriage? And I was just like, oh my God, yes, that's so exciting, And so I texted Chris, and I told him, I said, can we go? And we had already had plans to go to the Festival of Lights, which is this like holiday thing that they do in our town every year. We had plans to do that yesterday. So he texted me back and was immediately like, well, can we still go to the Festival of Lights on Thursday? And I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, it's only gonna be half an hour, but he was like, it was like important to him. And so anyway, I kind of like, I don't know, I was a little suspicious. I'm eating a comb. What is this? I'm so weird. Oh my God. Anyway, so I kind of had my suspicions, but I kept them to myself. And so then the next day we got all dressed up, and we both kind of like put it under the pretense that it was for my friend's wedding, even though she never told us to dress up. She said she had bought a dress, but I didn't realize that she actually bought like a wedding dress, and he wore a tux. So Chris wore like a tie and a nice shirt, and I wore a nice skirt and a really pretty sweater, and I curled my hair, and I did my makeup all nice, and I put on false lashes, which I'm wearing again today, by the way. I really like these, just as a side note. So anyway, and we went over to my friend's house, and they had a very simple ceremony. It was just me, Chris, and one of the groom's friends, and it was just in their living room, in front of their fireplace, and it was absolutely beautiful. Chris took pictures, and it was so romantic, and so anyway, we hung out there for a while, and then we left to go to the Festival of Lights. And it was crazy when we got to the Festival of Lights because it was packed. Like, it took us probably 45 minutes to get to a parking spot. It was just standstill traffic. I've never seen the Festival of Lights that busy, and I think it was because it was such a nice night. It was unseasonably warm for where we live this time of year. It was like 50 degrees, and that's kind of impressive. because the last time we went to the Festival of Lights, it was absolutely freezing. And we had a horrible time because it was so cold. So, so we actually finally got there, and, you know, we had a really great time, and we just walked around. It was really romantic and really beautiful. We took a lot of pictures and stuff like that, but it was just so crowded. There were so many people there. So anyway, then, like, you know, he was being really sweet the entire night. Not that he's not usually, but, like, we were, like, holding hands, and, you know, he was just being really romantic and stuff. So I don't know. I kind of thought he was going to propose at the Festival of Lights. Like, I had my suspicions that he was. But as the night went on and we walked around and we saw more and more of the Festival of Lights, it was getting toward the end, and I was kind of like coming to the realization, I was like, he's not going to do it. And I was a little sad, you know, but I've gotten to the point where after 7.5 years, you only have like so many times where you expect the guy's going to propose, and then you're just kind of like, oh, well, he'll do it when he wants to. And it'll be amazing because I will not expect it, obviously. So he didn't propose at the Festival of Lights. And so I was just kind of like, oh, well. And I actually had a friend text me and ask me, so how did the Festival of Lights go? And I was like, it went well, but he didn't propose like I think you're, or like I know you're thinking. And she was like, oh, you know, and I was like, it's all right, you know. And we still had a really great time. And so anyway, so then we stopped at Kroger and got some stuff, and then just went home. And we've been really into Walking Dead recently, which is so weird because, first off, I'm scared of everything, so I don't know how he got me into a zombie show, but we've been kind of obsessed with it on Netflix lately. So we just came home and I changed out of all my beautiful clothes, and I kind of like brushed my hair out so that it wasn't curly anymore, and put on my pajama pants and just had like this tank top on, and he just put on his pajamas, and we just went and sat on the couch, and we're just sitting there watching Walking Dead, and I was exhausted because you know, it had been a very long day. We'd had a wedding at my friend's house, and then we walked around the Festival of Lights for like 3 hours. So anyway, I was like, he was teasing me that I was gonna fall asleep, and so we were just sitting there watching the watching The Walking Dead, and he, after about like an hour or so of us sitting on the couch together, he, you know, turned to me and he was like, so did you have a good time tonight? And I was like, yeah, I had a really good time. You know, we hadn't been in like 5 years, and we love the Festival of Lights. We just never got around to going the past few years. I was like, it was really good. And he was like, would you want to go again? And I was like, well, what do you mean, like this year? And I was like, it was kind of crowded. And he was like, no. I'm like, you mean like next year? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. I was like, I'd love to go next year. And he was like, you want to keep going? I don't even remember what he said. It was like, you want to keep going year after year? And I was like, yeah, where are you going with this? Like, it was really strange. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, of course, I will continue to go to the Festival of Lights with you year after year. And he's like, good, because I want to go to the Festival of Lights with you for a really long time or something like that. And he reaches under his leg, like just in the couch cushions, and pulls out this little black box, which I wish I'd brought it up. He pulls it up, and we're sitting in the dark, and I'm like wrapped under this blanket, and I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, and I just stared at him. I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, you know what I'm doing. And I was like, no, what are you doing? I'm like freaking out. And he opens the box, and it was so cute because he opened the box upside down. So the ring was up at the top instead of down on the bottom. So I'm like craning my neck trying to see the ring. And it was dark, you know, and so I couldn't even see the ring. And I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? And he's like, you know what it is. And I'm like, no, tell me. And so finally he was like, and he's still sitting on the couch. He didn't get on one knee, but that's all right because he was so nervous. But And I was freaking out, but he was like, well, I wish I could remember exactly what he said because I was so shocked I can't even remember. But he said, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you and I love you so much. Will you please marry me? And I just, like, I've imagined him proposing, but I totally didn't know what to do. I was completely speechless. I was just not expecting it at all. And I just, like, kind of, like, sat there, like, I think he said I giggled a lot, which is probably true. I probably sat there and just burst out laughing or something, but, and then I hugged him a lot and I was like, oh my God, you actually did it. And I'm like freaking out and I'm like hugging him a ton and kissing him a ton. I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. And like freaking out. And that went on for about 20 minutes. I was just like, I can't believe you proposed. It's so beautiful. And we're like talking about the ring. And then after like 20 minutes, I was like, oh, by the way, yes, I will marry you. I was so excited about the fact that he did it. I forgot to tell him yes. I was just like, that's not a given, you know? I do want you to hear me say the words, yes, I will marry you, you know? And he was just like, he was so nervous that I wouldn't like the ring. And I'll show you it now because I absolutely adore it. And I don't know how this is going to come across on camera. It's got diamonds in the band and then 2 little diamonds that are blue. Those are actually blue diamonds. And then 1 big diamond in the middle. And the band's white gold. And he basically said that he spent hours trying to figure out which ring to get me. And he was so nervous, but he said that this one really stood out to him because of the colored diamonds. He didn't want, like he was looking at getting one that was very similar to this, but it was just white, like no blue diamonds in there. And focus on the ring, not my face. Yeah. And so he was so nervous about this ring that he had given me. He's like, I really hope you like it. He's like, if you don't like it, we've got 60 days to return it for a new ring. And I'm like, return it? What the hell are you talking about? It's gorgeous. And he was, oh my God, he was just so cute. He was so nervous. Which is, I mean, it's just weird because we live together. We've lived together for years now. We know everything about each other. We are so comfortable around each other. I mean, like, everyone basically has already said that we were already like an old married couple because we've been together so long and we know each other so well. But he was so nervous last night. And, like, the weird thing is Chris, I mean, like, when he works himself up over stuff, you can tell he's anxious. And I didn't get that all day. That was the thing that amazed me because he had planned all day on proposing to me. And his plan actually was to propose to me at the Festival of Lights. But he said when he got there, he was so scared because there were so many people. He's like, every place that we went, we were surrounded by like 50 people. And he was like, it would have just been really awkward and scary. And I was like, no, that's okay. I was like, and he kept apologizing that he didn't propose at the Festival of Lights. And I was like, you did it exactly the way I expected you to do it, you know? Like, I always kind of expected him to just propose to me randomly when we were at our house together, you know? Like, just comfortable, like, in our most comfortable, natural selves, you know? And that's what he did. We were just sitting around in our pajamas. And it was absolutely perfect. He kept apologizing, saying he flubbed it up by putting the box upside down, but I'm happy he did that because it makes up for the fact that I didn't say yes for 20 minutes. But it's such a cute story, and he was just so anxious about it and so nervous, and obviously my answer was yes, but it was just so amazing. And then he actually proposed to me at 11:39, so it was late, and I texted 3 of my friends and only 1 responded because it was so late, but I still, actually, as I'm recording this video, have not told my family. I'm actually going over there tonight, and we're going out to a family dinner with like all of my mom's family, and I'm gonna announce it then. I'm very scared because Chris won't be with me, and I'm kind of shy, and I don't know. Oh, and also my cousin's getting married tomorrow, and she's the same age as me. So I feel like everybody's going to be like, oh, Mary's just copying Ellen or whatever. But, you know, it was a right time for us. And he said he'd been thinking about it for months, and he actually only bought the ring last week, which shows, you know, how spontaneous he is. But he basically just said, like, he really wanted to do it yesterday. And he said that he would have been really disappointed in himself if he hadn't. He kept saying, oh, that's a big weight off my shoulders. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it is. And it was really great because it was so late. But we actually sat up talking until like 2 a.m. after that. Just like talking about how much we loved each other and how nervous he was and how nervous I was. And, you know, like just talking about how awesome we are, you know, like, because we're a really awesome couple. So anyway, that's kind of my engagement story. I still can't believe he did it. I actually thought he was going to do it on Christmas. We have no idea when we're going to get married, obviously, because we just got engaged last night. But hopefully it's going to go well with telling my family. We're probably just going to let his family know via Facebook because I don't think I can wait until Christmas to update Facebook about it. Is that pathetic? It's so pathetic, but I want other people to know. I want to tell people. I literally dreamed last night about telling people. Oh my God, it's so weird. And yeah, so I really want my family to know, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what happens this following year. 2013 has been such an amazing year for us, and I know 2014 is going to be even better, and I just can't wait to spend the rest of my life with him. He's my best friend. So I really hope this video wasn't terribly boring, but I wanted to share the news, and you know, hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully it wasn't too boring of a story. I think it's a wonderful story, but obviously I would. So anyway, please comment and subscribe and like my videos if you like them. If you don't, tell me why. And I will hopefully make another video again really soon because I miss making videos and I miss you guys. So I may either do one more video today or at least sometime this weekend, before Christmas for sure. And it's already a pretty long video, so we're gonna end this. All right, love you guys. I will talk to you really soon. Bye!